Well, let's talk about developmental circle.
A development circle is where there are like-minded people,
Mhm.
other practicing medium students, and they will sit, whether it's once a week, twice a week, usually 6 to 12 people in a circle, and they meet the same time every week. And now, of course, it's on Zoom, which can be very effective.
Mhm.
And there's a circle leader, and they usually will. The way it's conducted is different in different places, but my way would be opening with a prayer, and each person just, says something that gets their voice there. So maybe a prayer for each person, and then they sit. I would say sit in the quiet. That's how I was trained. Just sitting in the quiet and really working in your own soul self, and then becoming aware then, and not trying so hard, just being aware of how I would just go to each person. I'd go and feel their energy and see what's going on with them. And then sometimes I'd pick up someone behind them. And then I'd go around the whole circle. And then if I didn't pick up anything, I'd just say, I'm here to be used. Where do you might want my attention to go to? And they will show me someone behind someone or something like that. So
Yes.
development circles, it's a very important process. It's very important to do that if you're going to be a professional medium. I believe that solely because it gives the spirit world, something to work with you, to practice with you, to develop your. It's a flower. A flower can't grow in the dark. Flowers can grow in the light, and you're really opening up the higher aspects of your being. And developing that. And it also gives a sense of self. It also empowers you and you feel better about yourself. You have a
Yeah.
connection with your soul, and your soul begins to expand, and you have a whole different relationship with who you think you are. You become much more expanded and aware. Your perspective
Right.
shifts.
And you're right. I mean, it does take time to develop.
It does. It can't be rushed
This
over.
is cannot be rushed. And at the same time, I would always talk about for mediums that are just coming up to please pay attention psychologically to how grounded you are, because at the same time, you need to be very grounded because this work, when you start off and you might get really excited, you get, a name and you get a place and it gets very exciting. And at the same time, you have to be grounded.
Yes. You can't be so, as Mavis Patel says, you can't be so spiritually aware that you know earthly good. And when I was, which I love,
Love her.
and when I was starting to open up my power, and in any meditation I ever did, and I started with an audience meditation, I'd always have them ground first and find cords going down to
Yeah.
Mother Earth, finding two rocks and tying them up. As you say, we're electrical systems and we have to ground ourselves.
Right.
If not, you'll be gone off and you won't be, and it's not healthy either. I've met mediums who rush the development process, don't sit there properly, and they rush through and not realizing that their adrenal system is being used, the endocrine system is being taxed, and years later get sick, get cancer, get disease of some kind or some bone thing, whatever it might be, and it
Right.
taxes them. So don't do that to yourself. You need to
No.
develop slowly.
And you have to keep your vessel healthy. I mean, you have to eat healthy,
Exactly.
you have to, sleep. I mean, your body because it's the mind, body, and soul. It's all of it, this instrument that we have.
I wrote I don't know what book it was in, but I did say something about the diet and this sort of thing. And I don't know. I said something about coffee, and like some years later, someone said, "You don't drink coffee?" I said, "Oh no, I do drink coffee. Yeah, I have a glass of wine occasionally, and So what it is moderation. Everything in life is moderation.
Right.
That's really what the key is in life. It's
Right.
moderation. That's what it's about. Yeah, and humility. Humility is a big one. Talk about
Oh,
being grounded. The most, I don't again, most successful, most incredible mediums I know that are the
mhm,
most grounded, humble people in the world. Even Leslie
sure.
Flint was a physical medium, one of the most humble people you could meet. So humility goes a long, long way because if you're humble, you're open to learning all different things.
Oh, and spirit wants to come through.
Exactly.
They're
And
not
they
going to
might have
come
an idea
through
how to
with an
work with
ego
you.
situation.
Yeah, exactly. And they might have a very different way, a plan for your development
Right.
than They might have a whole, and that you got to give them that respect because they're from a different space.
Right.
And they might work on you in a much different way than you're used to or you've been told to. So it's all different ways. I believe mediumship is shifting now. Of course, it's changing as we all change. And I think it's obviously because of the computer and technology, but I think there's going to be a different way. Not sure yet what. It's going to be faster, though. Say that it's going to be faster. The message will be faster. I think connections will be much quicker for people. But yeah, because our vibratory rate is shifting here on this planet. So kind of
Boy, it sure is.